Hey, my Legion, how y'all doing today? Before I get started, I want to thank my buddy Tim Sands for making me this incredible thumbnail for John and I review Alien Covenant and I talk about the Alien franchise. Now, I want to dedicate this to my friend John Walkowitz, who went out and saw the movie. It was a great film. And also to my friend Jody Carnes from John and myself and Jody Carnes were all buddies in high school. And what happened was, I know Jody and Jody Carnes and I used to write about. We talked about horror films all the time, and I finally saw him again in Walmart, and we were talking about horror movies and stuff like that. I told him I had a YouTube channel. And he said he's going to check it out, and it was really cool seeing the guy again because the last time I saw him, aside from graduation and school and stuff, was in 1988 when I was home from Fort Gordon, Georgia, and I was about ready to go into Germany for 2 years in the Army. And I saw him, I talked to him a little bit, but I didn't talk to him that much. But we talked a lot more, and it was really cool. We talked about, we said, you and I, he missed us talking about horror films and stuff like that, because I love horror movies. So I think he'll like being included in this video. And I hope you really enjoy this review. It's a really good one. Like I said, Alien Covenant is a love it or hate it movie. But you'll see how we feel about it. And I hope you like this video, and until next, and take care and enjoy the video. I'm in the parking lot of Action News 24. I'm with my buddy John Walkowitz. He had to go in and do something. And we just saw Alien Covenant. And it was awesome. It was really good. It was a great gap after Prometheus ended, the movie Prometheus. And it's like a prequel to Alien. And that's the first Alien movie to have its Alien in the title since the Alien Resurrection. Yeah, I mean Alien vs. Predator Requiem. It starts off with like exploration and stuff, and then it gets into the aliens, the xenomorphs and stuff, and it's really, really cool. Very well done, drawn out. On occasion, sometimes the CGI might be a little sketchy of the alien creatures themselves, but I mean, that's why I said like a movie can't rest on CGI alone. If you have a great storyline, which this did, good script, awesome script, and decent character development, it helps, and you really care about what happens to the people involved, And I really enjoyed it. I give it not a completely perfect film, but pretty good. I give it a 9 out of 10. I really liked it, and I want to follow up with a report with thing about my history with the Alien franchise, And also, we went to Applebee's, and it's probably going to be a food review with a twist with music at it, because they had like wall-to-wall music inside the restaurant, and it was really good what we had. I had wonton chicken tacos, hot Nashville chicken sandwich, salad, french fries, and I think you'll really enjoy the video. And John had some onion soup, shrimp bourbon steak, and potatoes and salad too. I really like the movie. I'll probably talk more about the movie at home on the webcam and then go into the franchise. And then when John comes back, I'll ask him his opinions of the film too. Alright. I think you're ready for having a broadcast. Well, Saturday, yeah, 5:56. They broadcast at 6, so they're probably in there broadcasting right now. Awesome. Cool. So what do you think of Alien Covenant?
I thought it was really good. I liked that. I say it's probably my third favorite, right there with the first two Alien movies. I thought they did a really good job with it. The effects are good and everything. A lot of action, violence, blood, everything you want in a horror movie.
Yeah.
I noticed that Danny McBride's character's name was Tennessee. I wonder if that was a nod. I forget who played him, but one of the original characters in the first movie was Dallas. And I wonder if that was kind of a nod or something. I don't know. But I thought that was kind of neat.
Oh, cool. Awesome.
What'd you think?
I thought it was a fantastic film. I mean, it was really good. It was a great follow-up to Prometheus and a great prequel to the Alien franchise.
Right.
The original Alien movie. I really liked it. And you said there was another Alien coming up next year, maybe another Alien sequel?
It sounded like he might even do like 3 more or something.
Really?
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, at least they're not doing like a crapola remake and stuff like that, you know?
Right. Yeah, I think really Scott did a really good job with this one. He did a very good job. And I think if you're a fan of the franchise, you won't be disappointed.
Oh, cool. You know what would have been cool if that guy's name was Tennessee? What if he came out wearing a tuxedo?
Yeah, that would have been perfect. Tennessee tuxedo. Sorry about that, Chief. Oh, wait, that's Maxwell Smart.
Yeah.
Same voice.
Yeah, off by just that much.
You miss it by that much.
That much. All right. Thank you.
Would you believe?
He was cool. He was in that Back to the Beach movie, which I saw not too long ago, too.
Oh, yeah?
Back to the Beach was really funny. I like that, too. Awesome. Thank you, buddy.
Alrighty.
Okay. Awesome. What are you doing? You're so crazy. Yeah, I'm back on the webcam. Yeah, John and I went out today, and we had some fun. And like I said, we went to see almost an Alien Contamination. That's another good movie. That's the Italian knockoff of Alien from the 80s. Alien Covenant. See, I knew I was going to screw up. Alien Contamination's awesome. I think it's known now as Contamination. They keep wanting to change the titles and stuff like that. Just keep Alien Contamination. That's why I remember it. But no, Alien Covenant, like I said, was really good. It was weird because some of the xenomorphs that came out in some of the parts of the movie looked like something from a Tool video. I think there was a Tool video where they had something like that, and it was really freaky. I liked it. And they had like some baby xenomorphs. Now these aren't baby Groot. These aren't very cute. Well, I mean, if you think they might be cute to you, but I didn't think they were as cute as Baby Groot was really cute. These baby Groots aren't cute. I was going to tell that joke with John. I forgot all about it. Like, nah. But I really liked it. I mean, it's, along with Prometheus, these are love it or hate it movies. Or some people feel indifference. I didn't know so many people hated Prometheus. And I love Prometheus. And I said, I love this one. And some people are beating up on it. Matt Zion from Reckless Eating didn't like it at all. I know Jeremy Johnson, both him and Chris Stuckman weren't that big on it, but they said it was a great looking movie. It's a fantastic looking movie. And Ridley Scott's back in the direction chair. And even Rotten Tomatoes did it wasn't that favorable on Rotten Tomatoes either. But I mean, I judge my review on what I think. And it's pure sci-fi. And I enjoyed it from beginning to end. Not perfect, but pretty darn good. Really darn good. You know? And I like the science fiction. A little bit of humor towards the end. A little teeny tiny smidgen. But usually it's more really serious. Yeah, Rotten Tomatoes, I was really surprised at they beating up on it. Like, they show like what critics think, and then they'll show what audiences think. And it says like the critic score is 71%, which is still good, but it's like a low C. And then the audience score was 62%, believe it or not. And some are like really low, but I mean that's pretty bad. It's too bad. I really enjoyed it. I don't know what some people were expecting. It was weird seeing Danny McBride in a serious role. That was pretty cool too. But like I said, I really enjoyed it. It was really a cool movie and a lot of fun. I mean, it takes a while. It takes a while for it to get going because it sets up. It's like so many years after Prometheus happened, and it's like these guys are going to these colonists are going to this one planet, and they end up getting a signal and stuff like that, and they end up going to another planet, and that was a big... Well, I don't want to give anything away. But, I mean, it takes a little while before you see any of the aliens, but it's really cool. And there's a scene in the movie, when they go to the planet, they have, like, these little black balls that have these spores on them. And the spores are, like, the aliens coming, like, in spore form. And then one went in the guy's ear, and you see him come in, and then it beds itself inside the guy's ear. Or one went up a guy's nose. And, I mean, if you ever have a cold, that weird feeling in your nasal cavity, with that kind of reminded me of that. That's probably what it felt like. And then, of course, the aliens break out. But that reminded me of... I told John about it. He doesn't remember... when we were in school, in high school, middle and high school, because we both had the same track area. The grass there where they play the football games and stuff like that, used to have like these little black balls. I don't know if it was something to maintain the grass or something like that. And some of the kids would take it up and look like a little thing, and it would have like this dust in it or something like that. And they break it and they go like this and blow it in the air. And they said this is supposed to get in your enemy's eyes so you can win the game. But I can't remember what the heck they were called. I don't know if anyone knows what they were called. I don't know if they still have them or not nowadays. But this was back in the 80s. So. But, I really enjoyed the film. I thought it was really good. And like I said, I didn't even think if there's anything else I was going to mention. Like I said, fantastic looking film. A lot of times a lot of this was filmed in New Zealand. There was different crews and stuff involved. It's really good. But I'm just surprised. I highly recommend it. But it's like a love it or hate it affair with some people and critics, I guess. But I thought it was cool. Now that being said, I want to get into my thoughts and personal history with the Alien franchise. Now, the original Alien came out in 1979, and what happened was, I remember the ad campaign. I was just, either was in, I think it was in the summer of 1979 before I went into 5th grade, I believe. It came out right in May or so. I can't remember the exact date, but it was in 1979. Ridley Scott directed it, and this was classy that a lot of critics hailed as a great and wonderful film, which it is. And I remember the ad campaign. They showed like the egg. They showed like these weird close-ups of it and stuff like that. And you see, and I didn't know what was going on. I didn't understand. The relevance at the time because I was young. I didn't know because this was like a completely different. So many different ideas, even though it was based off old movie called It the Terror from Beyond Space, which I did see, and that's a really good one too. And there was like one other one where you see, I can't remember what it's called, Night of the Blood Beast or something like that. This guy, I think it was that one. And they had like, he did like extra, and he showed like these little parasites in his system or aliens in his system, but that was really cheap looking. That was actually funny. But the ad campaign freaked me out as a kid. Just like the one for Magic did. Magic really freaked me out because I was in 2nd grade. That was really creepy. With the ventriloquist dummy in it. But this one's like, had the egg whoop, 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 and then they have a crack in it. And then they start showing all these images all together going, really, really creepy and very intense. And they had the saying at the time, which I didn't really register at me, but now it's classic in space, no one can hear you scream. And that didn't really register for me as a kid back then, but it did now. And like I said, Alien was a monstrous hit. And I never saw it. There's no way my parents would take me to see that. I know my mother's friend Dora said she saw it, she said it was really scary. And it was a huge hit. It played in the theaters for a long time. I was just so curious about it. And the thing was, the alien, they had like the egg right there. And I remember they came out with an alien toy, which is the giant thing of the mother alien, the xenomorph, and with the thing that comes out of the mouth. And that was marketed for kids. And I think it got taken off the shelves because it was deemed too scary for children or something like that. And once again, Cisco Neighbor was on this and said, would you buy this for your kids? And they had an alien right there. I thought it was cool. I always wanted it. I never got it, though, of course. I remember they had another game from another horror movie, Jaws. I remember going to Troy Saldus's house, and it was called the Jaws game. And basically, and that game was cool, and it was, a little bit scary, but not that scary. And it was like, they had like a big shark, and its jaws would be unhinged, and it'd be like attached to like a rubber band. I can't remember what it was attached to. And you had like a little fishing lure, and there'd be all these things in his mouth, like a trash can, and license plates. And you had to take your turn and take a little bit with the fishing pole and put it away. And the thing is, not to have its jaws shut. If its jaws shut, then you lost. But that was a really cool game. I enjoyed playing that. I don't know if anyone else had that, though. I mean, I think that was doomed suitable for kids and stuff. But I know the Alien toy wasn't. It got taken off markets. But I bet you that a lot of people still have it as a collector's item. But like I said, Alien was revolutionary. It borrowed from a couple movies, but it was revolutionary at the time. And Sigourney Weaver was fantastic. And I wonder what she thinks of Alien Covenant and Prometheus. And also the Alien vs. Predator movies. I don't know. But I really liked it. That's a true classic from Ridley Scott. And that gets a full-on 10 out of 10. Now, when I first saw it, I didn't see it till much later. It was on TV. It was on ABC. It was either ABC Friday night at the movies or ABC Monday or Sunday night at the movies. And this is back when they had that one guy saying, "Your discretion is advised." I mean, really, guy had a real deep voice. And back then, everything was viewer discretion is advised. Because whenever I heard that, I automatically assumed the film was R-rated. Now, Alien was R-rated, but they did it for like James Bond movies. So I thought as a kid, all the James Bond movies were R-rated. And then when I found out they're all PG, I said, "Why are they on viewer discretion advised as a PG-rated movie?" You know. But I remember seeing it on TV and the impact it had. My dad wanted to see it too. And they pretty much showed the whole chest bursting sequence can't remember what they cut. I can't remember the exact thing, but I remember it seemed like they showed the whole thing except bleeping out swear words. And I remember the alien came out and you hear that one girl go, "Oh God," like that. Perfect reaction, something really creepy. That was I wonder if they did an ADR to that and had her do that a few times. But she did it. That was perfect, you know. And then later on in the late 80s, Spaceballs did a little tribute to that Mel Brooks did a tribute to that in Spaceballs. And it had like the alien come out of the guy's chest. And it was John Hurt. You see John Hurt going, "Oh no, not again." You see the alien come out. And then he has a spotlight. He has like the hat and the cane, and goes. Then it does that thing with the frog from Warner Brothers, like "Hello, my baby, hello, my honey," you know, like that. That was pretty cool. And you see him dancing off the screen and stuff. That was pretty cool. I like that. But I mean, Alien was a masterful work of art. You know, it was really good, and it had some real scares in it. Now, I didn't think. John was saying like people were saying like Alien Covenant was scary like the first two, but I didn't think Alien Covenant was scary at all. I didn't no jumps at all, but really cool movie. Now that ended, and then not too long after, I think in '86, I believe if I'm not mistaken, James Cameron came out with Aliens, the sequel. And a lot of people said, like, this is the same case of, like, the Godfather movies, with the second one being just as good, if not better, than the first one. Now, Aliens is completely different from from the first Alien, a night and day. Whereas the first Alien was like a sci-fi horror film, this is like a sci-fi action with horror in it movie. And it's fantastic. Wall-to-wall action in it. Great characters. That's where Ian K got to Stay Frosty from. Bill Paxton was in. He was fantastic. He was the one that goes, "Game over, man. Game over." You know? And what else happened? And it was, like I said, the perfect movie, just like the first one. Maggie's using litter box. Maggie. She's wiping her paws on the side of the cat litter thing. Maggie. Well, at least Maggie made her appearance. Yeah, at least by voice. But I think the movie's fantastic. And even the director made something possible that I didn't think anyone would be able to do. He made Paul Reiser interesting. Paul Reiser is one of the most boringest people ever. I hated Mad About You. And I know my dad didn't like me either, but he made the Paul Reiser character interesting in Aliens, which seems like impossible. Anyone that can make Paul Reiser not boring deserves like some real credit. But I liked, like I said, I like Aliens really well. I don't know if that was Michelle Rodriguez's. No, she wasn't in that one. Someone else was. But I mean, it was a really good. It was really cool. I give that full on 10 out of 10 for that one too. Now next, um, after the Army and stuff like that came Alien 3. I hated Alien 3. And Alien 3 was the very first Alien film I saw at not the theater, but at the drive-in. The only Alien movie I ever saw at the drive-in, and that was at it was like 92 or 93, and my dad and I started going to the drive-in, and at the time, the movie theaters were going out. They still had a lot of the movie theaters. You see some of them, like Cinema World was close to being closed down. Almost all the drive-ins were all closed down. The only two that existed at the time was the Presque Drive-In and then the one at Waterford, which is the Sunset Drive-In. And the one thing, if you remember movies, reading the paper, and they have like a big display of the movies, and they even have like full-page ads, and lots of horror films in there too. And in the 80s, both the Sunset and the Quarry, and also Cinema 18 showed like porno movies. And then you see like the things and stuff. And then the Sunset, I don't know when they started doing it. Sunset just started showing regular movies, but they were the ones that showed the porno movies in the 80s. And Cinema 18 was like a little theater off to one side of this one thing, and it showed pretty much pornos, but they did show, it was weird, they showed the reissue of Inframan, and they showed Breaking 2 Electric Boogaloo, which I thought was pretty funny, along with the pornos and stuff. I don't know if they got any business from families, but those are both family films, weird family films, because of the nature of some of their other movies. I don't know. Well, anyways, Dad and I had really bad luck with the drive-in at the time because we'd see one movie that was good and then the other movie would suck really bad. And the only time we had a perfect double feature was at the Sunset, and we went to see a movie that no one remembers called Stay Tuned with John Ritter and a very sexy Pam Dauber. You don't see Pam Dauber that much, but I always thought she was hot. And then the sequel to it was Unforgiven, the Clint Eastwood movie that won Best Picture, the Western. And that was a perfect double feature, but usually we'd get one that would suck real bad. Like, I remember we saw Three Ninjas, which I really liked, and then we saw Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Boy, that movie sucked. I hated that movie. And there was other movies like that, too, that were terrible. And the same thing happened with Alien 3, and this was at the Presque Drive-In. The very first movie was Encino Man. And I saw it. I didn't know who Brendan Fraser was. I didn't know who Pauly Shore was. But I mean, like a year or so after, I'll find out who Pauly. I mean, I think Pauly Shore's annoying, and he was kind of annoying in this one. But I let it go. But I ended up enjoying Encino Man really well. I mean, it's a very simple story, but very entertaining one. Then Alien 3 came out on there. It was awful. I mean, nothing like the other two. It went for like a gothic type look with religious overtones and imageries in it, but it was just so boring. And it was so darkly lit, it was hard to see a lot of the things that were going on. The only standouts was Lance Henriksen and Sigourney Weaver. And I do remember the ending where they're falling back into the thing, but I don't want to give it away. I hated Alien 3. Boring as hell. My dad didn't like it either. I remember they used to have a place called Suncoast in the Mill Creek Mall where they would sell like VHS, and they used to sell VHS bundles and stuff. I remember getting the Gremlins and Gremlins 2. I remember getting the Aliens one. It was a 3-pack. It was Aliens, the second one, and the making of Alien 3, which is like a 22-minute VHS tape. Now they included a freebie on there. And I remember seeing it, I said, boy, this 22-minute thing is more interesting than Alien 3 ever could think of being. But I absolutely hated Alien 3. I don't know. I mean, people are saying bad things about Prometheus and Alien Covenant, but a million times better than... I mean, those were a million times better than Alien 3. So I give Alien 3 probably a 1 out of 10. I hated it. But like I said, so you get the idea I didn't like the movie. Then in 1997 came Alien Resurrection, which had her, Sigourney Weaver again, being cloned. And Winona Ryder was in it, and Ron Perlman was in it. Now, I thought Alien Resurrection was a decent movie. I didn't see it at the theater. I saw it on Cinemax. And the thing with that one was, it was pretty decent. I thought it was a standard action, sci-fi action movie. I had no real surprises in it, but I mean, it was still entertaining enough to give it a, probably give it a 7.5 out of 10. Like I said, the action story was standard. But aside from that, I enjoyed it. Now, coming after that was, let me see if I got the dates right. Or I don't know if I still have, okay. Maggie. Come on, honey. What's wrong? I love you too. Maggie wants attention. Maggie, I give you attention all the time, honey. When the hell was Alien vs. What? Okay, Alien vs. Predator came out in 2004, and a lot of people were psyched about it. And I remember, where the heck is that? Okay. I remember that, I think there was an Alien vs. Predator video game I used to play, or an Aliens game, that I really enjoyed. It was kind of tough, though. You get killed pretty easy in that. And when Alien vs. Predator came out, it was the first PG-13 movie in the Alien franchise. And I do, because it's weird because, I mean, in a way it's part of the franchise, but, I mean, it's in a different category. Just like if you think Jason versus Freddy, you think of that as a Nightmare on Elm Street movie or a Friday the 13th. It's a blending of both. You know what I mean? It stands in a category by itself, you know. I really enjoyed Alien vs. Predator. A lot of people said it was just stupid. I thought it was really cool. I like seeing them fight and stuff. It's very entertaining. Even my nephew, I think we bought the DVD. We didn't see it when it came on theaters. I even watched with my nephew, and I think it was an unrated cut. But I mean, I think there was just some swearing. I don't remember, but I really liked the movie. I enjoyed that. Well, I'd probably give that an 8.5 out of 10. It was very entertaining. Lance Henriksen was very good in it. Also, one other thing I forgot to talk about when we went to Tinseltown today. They said it would be like a wait, like a 15-20 minute wait to see Alien Covenant. See, I'm getting all confused. And you know what we did? It was still like playing, and they hadn't let out yet. You know, and they weren't going to let people in. Just like with Guardians of the Galaxy Part 2. But I mean, it was like a sold out thing, and they had like a big line. They had like a big thing you had to go behind. They had like like that thing that lets people in and out. You know, you had to stand in a big line, and they would let people in gradually. You know, so it wouldn't fill up super fast. You know, and the one thing is, it wasn't that busy today. So I mean, there wasn't that many people in the theater either. Maybe like 20 people, maybe. I could be wrong though about that. And like I said, a 15-20 minute wait. And I said, well, let's play some video games. And John wasn't really interested. He just watched me. I wanted to play a couple video games. So I went to their arcade. They have a cool little arcade. Not anything super fancy, but pretty neat. And I remember putting the money in. And it just gave you tokens. And I played like this Batman game, a racing game, which was pretty cool. I like that. And then they had, the reason I'm really telling you about this, is they had like the Rolling Stones pinball machine. Now, I bet you this was from the Dollar Theater. They must have got it from the Dollar Theater, because I remember in 2012, which was like 2 weeks before the Dollar Theater closed down, which really sucked. I wanted to see Ted, Marvel's The Avengers. I wanted to see The Amazing Spider-Man, but stupid Glenn Beck was on. Yeah, and so I ended up seeing an awful remake of Total Recall. I could have done without that one. But I remember between the things, I played the Rolling Stones pinball machine there. But I bet you that's the same one from the Dollar Theater. So it came full circle. I thought that was cool. Now, like I said, Alien vs Predator is very good. I really liked that. And then later on, like 3 years later, came Alien versus, or they call it AVP, Alien versus Predator Requiem. Now this was a movie that came out, didn't get much fanfare, didn't get a huge push by the company, and it was an R-rated film, and it was like them coming down to Earth. You know, Alien and Predator. John said he didn't like it as much, but I thought it was really cool. And it got a chance for it being a little more bloody and stuff. Because it's R-rated. It went from the PG-13 to the R rating. But I really liked Alien vs. Predator Requiem too. I'd probably give that I'd give that 8 out of 10 too. I really liked it. But I mean, you should see, like, it had like the looks of a movie that the studio was trying to just get out real quick, you know. Then in 2012, I think it was 2012. Let me look. Okay, wait a second. I think it was 2012, if I'm not mistaken. Because I remember seeing Alien movie theaters. Let me see. Yep, 2012. Prometheus came out. I remember seeing some reviews of it back when they did that. And I didn't see it till much later. I didn't see it till this year. And I actually reviewed the movie, and I thought it was fantastic. I really liked it. I loved the look of it. It looked really cool. A lot of people hated Prometheus. I thought it was really neat. They didn't really introduce the xenomorphs that much, but it was just pure sci-fi all the way. Really cool. And then it goes all the way back to Alien Covenant. So that's really my where's this at? My history with the Alien franchise. I mean, personal history. Like, the first two really had resonance because I grew up with those, and then like the third one was my dad and I were really hyped up and excited about it, and then it just constantly let us down, you know. And then the other ones just came out like normally, even though a lot of people were excited to see Alien vs. Predator, but a lot of people didn't like that movie. You know, I liked it. So I hope you like this thing of my review of John and I's review of Alien Covenant and my personal history with the Alien franchise. I hope this video has been informative. And like I said, this video is dedicated to my friend John Walkowitz and also my friend Jody Carnes from high school. And I'm going to put an introduction to the video right at the beginning. Tim Sands made a really cool thumbnail. And I really hope you all like this video. It's going to be another long one. So until next time, bye please. Take care, my legion. I like I said, I liked it. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I was going to say. I don't think so. But I mean, someone else put like something like, or critics said that Ridley Scott managed to dilute the series. That's not true. I like I said, Alien Covenant was cool to me. But I mean, there's going to be a lot of pros and cons. A lot of people are going to be hating this. But the cool thing is, they're continuing the storyline instead of making a crappy remake of it. Of the real alien or aliens. Which I think would be a disaster. So, till next time, bye please. Take care.